Down right here.
Hey, y'all motherfuckers better get ready to rumble. Rockin' around like a tumble, passing like gumbo, slice on the bungle. Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready.
Call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Y'all motherfuckers ain't ready.
But I don't think he gon' make it. Not the way he was shivering and shaking on the pavement.
Oh, my bad. Welcome back to the Fighter Share Report. I love that intro, man. I love it.
You gotta chill, bro.
I love it. If there was some ring ropes, I just go Ultimate Warrior. No.
Nah, bro. Nah, you gotta chill, bro.
Let me calm down before I have to replace this stool. Welcome back, episode 4. Look, we live. Let your peoples know that we live so they can watch us live. Or you can watch the repo. But we like it when you watch us live.
It helps.
We feel that energy coming through. I don't know if that's 5G or if it's energy, but we feel it coming through.
It's 5G.
5G.
5G gonna be the death of everybody. Allegedly.
Well, you know, we'll get ahead of it like we did the coronavirus.
Obviously, we're not practicing social distancing, so
Right.
you know, whatever.
Well, anyways, welcome. Glad you guys are letting us come into your lives for this 40 minutes. And hopefully you'll be enriched and feel much more acclimated to the fighting world once we're done. So we got a great show this week. On My Grind is going to be off the chain.
Okay.
But wait till we get to, yeah, I said it.
Yeah, I think that's gonna touch some nerves. I'm starting to feel like that segment is like our truth serum, where we just kind of unapologetically talk about what we feel like are facts or what is important not only in sports but in our culture too.
Yes.
So, y'all stick around for that. That's gonna be dope.
And hopefully you guys have noticed that we really don't take sides. We just call it the way we see it.
Yeah. Which is the right way.
Which is the right way. And we all knew WWE was hocus pocus.
Okay.
But we put wrestling on this show because they really do take risks when they get in the ring. They have to be athletes when they get in there. They go through a lot of training. They're constantly working out, keeping their bodies in shape. But I was so disappointed and let down this weekend when I found out that WrestleMania was completely pre-recorded. Some of the matches you knew were completely pre-recorded.
Everything about it is a gimmick. Why were you bothered by the fact it was pre-recorded?
I was bothered
It's
because
scripted.
You're still calling it WrestleMania. Whether it's scripted or not, usually they shoot Raw live. They shoot, you know what? That's the one they shoot live now, is Raw. And usually the pay-per-views are live.
Okay.
So anything can really happen. Like when somebody gets hurt, you can kind of see it even though they try to hide it. I mean, that's the element that you love is the live aspect of it.
Right.
And to find out that they just gimmicked the whole thing, it cheapened it to me. I mean, there were some good matches, but to find out that these athletes did not have to go out there in real time and do it like they normally would if it was at Raymond James Stadium this year, and people paid to watch that.
I mean, it's already cheap. I'm sorry to bust your bubble, but no one expects too much from that except preteens. However, they made a lot of money. And what did you just tell us before the show started? He cut back salaries?
He's starting to cut salaries.
Hey, man, that's the American way, man.
Justin is leaving because he doesn't want to.
Listen, we're going to downsize. We're going to downsize when the people at the top still going to make more money.
Well, that's the American way.
That's the
Trickle
American
up
way, man.
economics.
There you go.
Thank you, Reagan.
I ain't never seen anything trickle up, but that's what we do here. We trickle
Right,
up.
we trickle up.
Yeah.
We work, they get paid.
Sounds like a thing.
Unless we want to level the playing field, but then you got to stand together. Oh, we can't do that.
No, not at all.
I just can't do that.
That makes too much sense.
It's too much sense. And that means it doesn't make dollars because it makes too much sense.
Yeah, I can see that. But hey, man, in the meantime,
In between times.
shout out to everybody that watched WrestleMania. Yes. They streamed it because you didn't have nothing else to do.
Right.
So, I mean, hey,
Right.
a win is a win is a win. So the McMahons won.
Completely.
Hey, man, you can't be mad at that.
And you know, it's interesting. You see some new blood coming into the company, which was a good thing. So, since we have, how much time we have?
We got 30 seconds left.
30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't release new uniforms if they're not new.
You know what? Somebody asked me about that the other day, and I was like, I mean, I live here. I want the team to do well, but I'm not really a fan. I didn't see much of a change in uniforms, really, and I can see much better than you. I didn't see the change in detail. What did I miss? You tell me.
They went right back to the same type of uniforms they had when they won the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. Well,
And the helmet's supposed to be more sparkly. But that's it. I mean, the funny thing was so many people were calling for the creamsicle uniforms to come back.
and that ends that segment. So we go right to On My Ground. We start talking about creamsicles. All right, On My Ground, what we got, bro?
Let's get it.
Okay, so, hey, man, UFC 249 is a thing.
Yes,
it is a thing.
Real thing.
It's going to happen. It may happen on the island of Dr. Moreau. Is that what they're doing it? No? What the hell? What the hell are they doing this
The
at?
island next door.
Oh, okay.
If they cannot work out a deal with this hidden place in California.
Oh, California.
Right.
That's like the island of Dr. Moreau.
Well, you know it's not connected anywhere to the United States. That's a fact. It is. It's a fact. It sits on its own plate. Anyways, kind of like this plate. But if he can't do it there, somebody told me the island is near Ireland, but I'm not sure exactly where the island is located that he's going to do it. If they can't do it in California, there's an island that he's procured, private island.
Before we get into the logistics of that and the main event, talk about what kind of flex is that? That's a real flex.
That's a Jerry.
You know what? Don't worry about it. I'll get to the island,
Right.
and we're gonna make. That's a flex, bro.
That is. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, that boy he got privilege. Real privilege.
He got something.
I'm just saying, that's pretty dope.
He got more than the rest of the promoters because his fighters are still fighting. So, but look, the fact that it's still gonna happen, no audience, it's still gonna happen. I mean, Khabib can't be there because he can't get out of Russia.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly. Khabib's probably like, I don't want the coronavirus from Ferguson.
Right.
But Ferguson's gonna be there, and we'll get ready to get into the fight itself.
Okay. Justin Gaethje.
Justin Gaethje.
Man, listen. If you had to pick a fight to actually grab casual fans, this is it, bro. These two dudes gonna fight, man. This is probably gonna be a bloodbath. This is gonna be everything that people want to see. Blood, a lot of fighting, blood, a lot of fighting, and some more blood. That's my prediction.
The funny thing is, they had Ferguson on a post on Instagram, and they asked a question to the fan: who do you think would win? And they had him, and they had Triple G picture. And most people actually said Ferguson.
Listen, Tony Ferguson is a hell of a fighter.
Yeah.
Unorthodox, he takes a lot of shots, a lot of looping punches, but he has pretty good striking for an MMA guy. And he throws some pretty good kicks, and his grappling is pretty good. Now, on the other hand, Justin Gaethje just seems to be the more athletic, and he seems to be more explosive. That right hand he throw, he don't put a lot of people to sleep with that right hand.
Yeah.
He throws a lot of knees. His kicks are also good. This is going to be a good fight. And Gaethje, if I'm not mistaken, has a wrestling back, and I think he started wrestling at like 5 or 4, some crazy number like that. Styles make fight. This is going to be a real bar fight. These boys going to get it in.
Now, the so-called experts on ESPN made the statement this morning that the longer the fight goes, the more it favors Ferguson.
Yeah,
But
well, yeah.
They feel like Gaethje, if he can get him
Early.
He can get a good shot in the first round or halfway through the second round, he is his best shot to knock Ferguson out.
Well, bruh, Ferguson will get hit, and he will get hit often.
Yes.
I mean, he's got a chin or a beard or both. I don't know what you call it, but he's taking some shots. He's been down a few times, and he gets back up and commences to kicking ass.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Justin Gaethje is athletic. He's explosive. And I kind of agree to that. I think the longer the fight goes, it kind of favors Ferguson because we've just seen that style work for him so often. But I mean, ask Michael Johnson about Justin Gaethje, man. I mean, these flying knees, these elbows, man, these dudes can fight. And Ferguson throws some hellacious elbows. He likes to cut dudes open. Ask Anthony Pettis.
Yeah.
Ask Cowboy Cerrone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm waiting to see this fight. This is going to be a dope fight, but I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be a good fight, and there's nothing else going on. So, I'll be watching.
Adjust your mic a little bit, bro. I don't know if they can hear you. You might?
Oh,
Yeah.
I will definitely be watching.
Yeah.
That'll be the only thing really going on.
Yeah. But it's a win, man. It's a win, and it gives us fight fans, even though some people like to toe the line, like to say, "Oh, I favor boxing, I favor MMA." Look, if you like combat sports, man, you gonna like this fight,
Right?
Cause them boys finna do work.
Right. It's interesting, and I thought about something. I gotta wait. I can't bring this up today because I watched an interview. They were talking about this fight, and oh my goodness, the guy's name. So I'll wait. He was talking about T.J. Dillashaw, and he was talking about doping. And the fact that Dillashaw had been found to have been doping when he beat Cody.
Oh, Cody Garbrandt, man.
And that affected. So that's another story. So I'll wait.
We're on dodgeball now.
We're on dodgeball.
We're on dodgeball, and you know what dodgeball is about, so you can go ahead and get it kickstarted, bro. Go ahead. Your boy.
I'm not going to do this.
Man, you know Tyson, your boy. Go ahead and talk about it, man. He is your boy.
Listen, I'm the one who started talking about when the man was cheating the first time. And you were like, yeah, but he won. So
He did. He did win, bro. He won.
Now, Crackhead decided he's going to give up his brother's boxing license. So, in hopes that they won't investigate his doping. We already had him. Now you say allegedly, but I've heard from too many sources and read too many different links where this farmer was offered $25,000. That's why he said that he gave Fury this wild boar meat that the boar had not been castrated.
They didn't cut the pig nuts off.
Right, they didn't cut the nuts off the pig. So it altered the levels in Tyson's system and made it seem like he was doping. The farmer came back and said, no, I was paid X number of dollars to say that. But that never happened.
And then the farmer came back and recanted the statement, which doesn't help his validity in the case. Right. So, I mean, like I spoke to you in the audience last week, that never really got any traction. But here's what's interesting. Before the Wilder fight, he actually wrote into the BBC.
Right. They didn't suspend his license.
And relinquished it, bro. That's...
Because he got a Nevada one. You know, anything goes in Nevada.
Well, here's the thing. Here's a question that I think I know the answer to, but I'm going to ask you just to lean on your expertise. The NSAC, the Nevada State Athletic Commission, is independent.
Correct.
Right? Because there is no total governing body in America.
Correct.
So he can fight here, and he's basically got immunity. They don't have to worry about an investigation on that. If he goes by NSAC's rules, then he's good to go, right?
Correct. Each state has their own commission.
Right.
It's not like amateurs with USA Boxing, where they kind of govern.
Mm-hmm.
No, once you become professional, each state has their own commission, and they have their own set of rules. Now, they're supposed to have similar guidelines, but you know, what may go in Nevada may not go in Michigan, may not go in New York, but may go in Texas. It just depends on the commission and what they're willing to look or overlook.
Okay.
So right now, Tyson Fury is skating by. Now, if the British Boxing Commission decides that they're going to go further with this investigation,
right,
and expose him in his habits, then it's going to put pressure on the Nevada Athletic Commission, but not as much them, but it'll put pressure on the WBO,
right,
to decide, hey, was that match between him and Wilder, was that bout legit? Or do we need to go take action? I see the look on your face, but the reality is, if they find out that he was doping around that time, then it's going to be up to the WBO and the Nevada State Athletic Commission to decide, does that win stand, or do they strip him and suspend him? Because he had been suspended once before.
Yeah. Him and his cousin both popped positive.
Right.
I think it was 2016.
Yes.
Was it something like that?
And if he had gotten caught again, he would have been on an 8-year ban.
Right, and they tried to retro it, but he was already on his drugging mental binge, so he wasn't in any condition to fight anyway. Kind of circumvented that whole thing. My problem is this.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
I want to see my boy have a gut check moment. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Sure, is Fury a saint? No, he's not. And we know it in more ways than one. However, in this country, especially for certain people, we like the story of what you did to yourself, right? Because everything Fury did, he did to himself. None of that matters now. The only thing that's going to resurrect Wilder's legacy, he has to go in there and win the fight, bro. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying.
But you had said that, and I thought about that. I thought about it. But you and I feel the same way about the Pacquiao-Thurman fight. That if Pacquiao had been, if Thurman had asked for the same test that Floyd asked Pacquiao to pass, that Pacquiao may not have been able to take that fight. Because Pacquiao seemed so much stronger and faster than he did even against Jeff Horn.
Yeah. Well, let's get off that. I mean, we can talk all day about that.
I'm saying that based on with the Fury, those enhancements make a big difference to your performance in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, at the end of the day, he got to come back and win that fight. Punch kind of punch.
Yes.
You've
been waiting for this.
Listen.
Yeah.
So I tuned in to Earl Spence's live with
Ray
Flores, and the truth has some interesting things to say, man.
Yeah.
The first thing that caught my attention was he separated his opponents, the potential opponents, right? Mm-hmm. He said a rematch with Sean Porter does not really resonate with him. It was a great fight. The fans got their money worth. He felt like it was a great performance. But he's not really interested in rematching Porter, which by all means, I think we all understand that, right?
Right.
Nobody wants to run it back with Sean Porter, right?
Ever.
But then he turned around and talked trash about our homie.
Keith.
About Keith.
Keith.
He said that Keith is not on my level.
Yes.
And as he said once before in an interview he did with me a few years back, he thinks Keith is phony. He thinks he's fake. He thinks everything about Keith is a facade for the cameras. Now here's my thing. Do I think that Keith Thurman can beat Earl Spence right now? No. Do I think a committed, rejuvenated, healthy Keith Thurman can beat Earl Spence? Yeah, I do. I feel like all these guys are that good that on any given night, any of them could beat each other. Now, I know the fans are going to crucify me for this because they're going to talk about how bad he looked against Josecito Lopez and how he lost to an old man in Manny Pacquiao. But before that, Keith Thurman was hands down the best welterweight in the world.
Right.
We saw him beat Sean Porter. We saw him wipe Danny Garcia.
Wipe.
So, I don't know, EJ, but he has the right to say that because he's the champ. Then he turns around and says he feels like Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao are not only deserving of the fight, but he likes their personality. He feels like Terrence Crawford is an authentic, real guy. Yeah. He feels like Manny Pacquiao is respectful and doesn't do a lot of trash talking and has always been true to who he is and did this. He said he wanted to fight Danny Garcia. Now here's the thing with me. Danny Garcia been beat twice.
Right.
By one dude that you beat and Sean Porter, one dude you ain't fought yet in Thurman.
Right.
So how does Thurman not get to be in your league, but you want to fight Danny Garcia when he clearly got beat by Thurman?
Right.
We all know Thurman pulled off the gas the last 3 or 4 rounds of that fight, but it was a complete wash up until that point.
Right.
So how you feel about that?
I feel Earl misspoke, but I mean, that's just at that level, what you have there. And Earl has never been I love the interview, by the way.
Yeah, that was dope.
But Earl has never been the best person on the stick, on the mic. But up until that point, I really liked Earl because he didn't really come out and talk a lot of junk. I mean, he did in his, what fight was that?
I mean, he talked trash to Porter.
Yeah.
He talked trash to Porter.
Yeah, but I mean, up until...
Yeah, he's a guy that basically believes in himself and his skill set. He's going to come out there and kick your ass. And he'll say it every now and then, but he's going to really let his hands do the talking.
But I think, honestly, at his level, if he's healthy, if he's rebounded from his accident, I believe Earl Spence, his hands will back up what he's saying.
I agree with that. I think that right now, that Earl Spence is probably the best welterweight because we haven't seen Crawford against any true welterweight opposition. We're hoping to see that against Kell Brook if that fight materializes.
Boo.
He's going to beat Danny Garcia. Is that a dangerous fight in your first comeback fight? Yes, because Danny can punch.
Yes.
But we all know that Earl fights to the level of his competition to a degree, or he fights in the style of his opponent, which can make that fight dangerous. If he gets into a firefight with Danny, again, we know that no-look left hook, if it connects, it puts people down.
Yes.
So that makes it dangerous because in boxing especially, timing and rhythm is everything. He's been out of the ring for a long time and been injured. His timing's gonna be a little off. He's gonna be a bit rusty. I don't like that first fight for him, but I believe in the truth.
Right.
I believe in Earl Spence. So I think taking that fight against Danny Garcia, I think he'll still get the W, but it's a dangerous fight.
He'll win the fight. He'll win the fight.
We want to see him against Bud, though.
Yes, all day long.
That's the fight.
All day long.
That's the fight.
And now I'd like to see him against Keith.
Keith got to get ready, though.
Yeah, he
No
does.
more of that BS, that stuff. Keith, we your homeboys, but you got to get it together.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, I said it.
Please knock the ball off the tee. Please, for me.
We're talking about, I'm going to say, all right, they called John Wooden the Wizard of Westwood,
Yeah, they
right?
did. Yes, they did.
All right. They called George Steinbrenner the tyrant of the MLB.
I hate the Yankees.
Right, me too. But they also said he was the most shrewd and best businessman in MLB. They called Jerry Jones. They say Jerry Jones has the most swag of any NFL owner.
At mediocrity.
Hey, but no one else would have had the guts to go in and fire Tom Landry right off the bat and hire Jimmy Johnson.
And the hat.
And the hat.
Tom Landry with the hat.
With the
That's
hat.
crazy.
Yes. So now we get to, I would say, the equivalent in boxing.
Okay.
Mr. Al Heyman.
Uncle Al.
Uncle Al, the orchestrator, the founder of PBC.
And not the DJ from Miami.
And
I'm from Florida, man. Come on.
I'm done. That was Uncle Luke.
No.
That was Uncle.
Yeah.
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 Ooh, some good times. Okay, so Al Heyman, and you really got me looking at Al Heyman years ago. And then my cousin has a really good friend who went to college with Al.
Oh.
So when she started talking about the story she heard about Al, Al Heyman is a very shrewd, cunning businessman. If he wasn't, he wouldn't be a black man at the head of a boxing organization in this country.
With hedge fund money.
With hedge fund money.
Right.
But what Al has done is extremely courageous and admirable. And Earl Spence talked about it in the video. So thank you for letting me know Earl was live. I'd have missed that. Al not only is making money hand over fist, but Al is teaching boxers what the ones that want to learn, because Earl was very clear about that.
Right.
Some boxers don't want to know.
Right.
They want you to give them some money, they can go spend it, do what they want to. But Al, if you want to listen, will sit down and he will teach you how to make your money work for you. And I thought that was a brilliant gesture from Al Heyman.
And I agree with that. And I'm gonna take it a little bit deeper, and no, I haven't watched Farrakhan this morning. Okay.
No, you're calm. Go ahead.
But I think what Al Heyman is doing for the culture, and when I say the culture, I'm talking about young black fighters in particular. He's teaching these guys how to fish. Not only is he paying them the king's ransom, and we're fans. We know that sometimes they get paid a lot for not the most competitive fights. But these guys go out and literally put their life on the line for our entertainment. And if you can teach young men that are in a sport this dangerous how to secure their future, I'm all for that. We don't hear about other promoters because they're not doing it.
Correct.
If they were doing it, we'd hear more about it. Al Heyman is not only making young millionaires, but he's making young business-minded, oriented millionaires.
Right.
All of his champions, for the most part, have promotional companies or developing promotional companies. We haven't seen that with Golden Boy fighters or top-ranked fighters. I think Tyson Fury just signed a co-promotion deal with Bob Arum. But outside of that, I don't know who else has in that stable. Oscar De La Hoya did it in the 90s, but his fighters haven't followed suit, which is why Canelo not only has his promotion company, but now he's getting big checks from DAZN.
Right.
Look.
But that was only because Oscar couldn't afford to keep Canelo.
Right. And we often hear the cautionary tale of athletes. You got the Antoine Walkers, you got the Jamarcus Russells, you got and in boxing, I mean, you can go on down the list from the Spinxes to Gerald McClellan to Mike McCallum to Joe Louis. These guys go out there and fight to be for our entertainment, and they die broke with nothing. So
because they're no longer entertaining
Earl Spence said
to the ruling class.
He wanted to sign with Top Rank because they promised him they was going to give him a big signing bonus. I think he said it was like $1 million or some big number. And his dad sat him down and said, "Hey, let's take a look at Al Heyman. And Earl said his first meeting with Al Heyman before he ever had his first pro fight, he's talking about retirement. And Earl's like, man, I'm young, I'm 21, 20 years old, I'm ready to set the world on fire, I ain't worried about retirement. But now at 30 years old, Earl's in a position to only fight because guess what? He truly loves it.
Right.
He truly wants to be the best. And thanks to Al Heyman, he can retire and you know, make have a great life. And a lot of these fighters are following the same blueprint, and I just think that's dope.
That is. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say it. Most promoters follow the slave owner's mentality. You join my company, you sign on to my promotion, you're on my plantation. You work and do what I say do. I pay you what I think you should have. When you're done, well, you better find another plantation to get on, because I don't need to show you how to make money. I just needed you to fight to keep me rich. Al Heyman is like, hey, you got on my plantation, but you're a sharecropper. And I'm going to teach you how to buy your own plantation.
And that ends that. Now we're on the meanwhile. Sorry, I ran a little bit over that, but that was our truth serum.
Yes.
Meanwhile. So, man, what's been going on? Like, what have you been taking up during the sick and shut in, as the old folks say? What have you been watching? Because I can tell you right now, man, these DJ battles on Instagram, man, they everything. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s, especially the 90s and the early 2000s, these DJ battles are everything, man. Scott Storch against Manny Fresh.
You told me about
Bro.
that. You told me about it.
Lil Jon against T-Pain.
I didn't even know T-Pain was a DJ.
Well, I mean, for them, okay, so Scott Storch and Manny Fresh are both super producers.
Yeah.
So they were basically taking their records that they produced and put them against each other.
Yeah.
Well, T-Pain produced a lot of and wrote a lot of those hit records that he was on.
Yeah.
So he was able to go head to head with Lil Jon. Lil Jon wiped the floor with him. But man, that was a dope battle, bro. I actually enjoyed it, and I didn't watch it live.
Right.
I watched it on YouTube the next day, bro. I mean, first of all, I didn't know Lil Jon, and I should be ashamed because I'm from the South. And I grew up in Lil Jon's era. I forgot how many hits Lil Jon had.
Man, look.
I forgot, bro. That's
Well, them
sad.
girls, I mean,
And that didn't make the list.
What?
Right, that song, B.R.B.R., that didn't make the list.
What?
Bro, all these songs we grew up with didn't even make his top 20 list, bro. That's how many hits Lil Jon got. Yeah, bro, it was crazy.
And Lil Jon smartly has his publishing.
Man, first of all, we know Lil Jon has always been a smart guy.
But the people that you're talking about, it's amazing what they have in common.
Okay.
Like T-Pain could not get a deal. He was shopping his demo around, could not get a deal
Florida stand up.
until he ran into Akon.
Yeah.
Akon taught him how to own your publishing. Own your, not just your publishing, but you got your publishing, you got your masters, your ASCAP, the whole thing. And there's something, because Mix-a-Lot talked about this, we won't get onto that right now. But the fact that the people that you're mentioning are making money every time their music is played.
Yep. Cha-ching. That
So they're not getting played, they're getting paid when their
Shout
music
out
is
to
getting
Nip,
played.
man. My dude Nip, I miss Nip, man. But Nip talked about that a lot. That mailbox money. That mean the money come in long after that record done came out of the top 10, or it ain't on the constant repeat on the radio, but you getting that mailbox money, you getting that score money, movies, commercials, all kind of stuff. That's what it's about, man.
Yes.
But back onto the battles, bro. Scott Storch against Manny Fresh. Now I thought this was gonna be a closer battle than what it was, but then I had to remember that a lot of Manny Fresh stuff was directly tied to Cash Money. He was an in-house producer.
But he was an independent contractor.
He was, but he didn't make a whole lot of hits outside of Cash Money.
You're right.
Yeah, so when Scott Storch started rolling out Single Ladies and what was the Mary J song? No Dance Ration is Halloween.
Yeah.
When he started rolling out the Mario, Let Me Love You.
Yeah.
Scott Storch producer, when he started rolling them records out, bro, I was like, oh, Manny. Damn, Manny.
Yeah.
Yo, man.
Yeah.
He couldn't hold up, man. Scott Storch wiped the floor, man.
I
It was depressing.
heard an insider say at one point that Scott Storch was going to be our era's Rick Rubin.
The drugs. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It is.
Scott got out there on that, man. He's coming back now. I think he's getting back into it. But see, this generation is so different and so disconnected. I don't know what kind of headway he's gonna make. But one thing I will say, for all the young artists out there, look at T-Pain, look at Lil Jon, look at these people, man, because what they did is they took something that was already there and they recreated a sound. In music and entertainment, nothing's new under the sun. Someone's always done a version of what you've done. But if you can tweak it and make it original, bro, it'll take you so much further than trying to sound like everybody else. And right now in hip hop, that's what I'm getting. All these songs and artists are trying to sound the same. They ain't the wave, bro.
Look, when I used to work with artists, I would always tell them, what you hear now, somebody was creating 5 years ago.
Yeah, you're behind 8 ball.
So if you're trying to sound like what's on the radio now, by the time you make it, you won't make it to the radio. But if you do, you're gonna be behind.
Hey, those are words for wise. Couldn't have been me. What we got?
You know what? I've been waiting.
Yeah,
I didn't look at this ahead of time.
Couldn't have been me, 'cause
I've been waiting.
I'm interested to see what this is. 'Cause this better be good.
So y'all don't trip, because I'm gonna be watching the same monitor y'all are watching. Bigger.
Guys. So these are two dudes at a bar. Oh, the dude ripping his shirt. He like, oh, what's going on here? He a little dude though. What's going on? Oh, he pushed him. Oh, Thanos got him. Oh,
Wow!
Thanos got him.
Wow!
Thanos got him. And security came and pulled him off. Oh, he's stumbling, bumbling. Oh, yeah, he down for the count.
Down goes
Oh,
Hulk.
he kicked him. And he gave him enough. Okay, first of all, all right, stop. Wait.
Keep it going.
First of all, hell no. Now, damn. I like that Street Fighter thing.
Get over
Okay,
here.
first of all, where's homeboy? This motherfucker, excuse my French, I had to say it because this applies. He was obviously drunk.
Yes.
He tore up his own shirt.
Yes.
What you thought this was, bro, WWE? So you ripping your shirt off.
You gonna scare
Like this
somebody.
man ain't ready. Man,
You gonna scare
That
somebody.
couldn't have been me. I'm with old boy though, that couldn't have been me. Niggas ripped your shirt. I don't need him before he got the chair.
Yeah.
When I saw him start ripping his shirt,
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I've been putting them beats on him.
Yeah.
Right then.
Ain't no need to wait. Ain't no need to wait. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Ready.
Right.
But if you stay ready, guess what you gotta do? Get ready.
Right.
And that's what I did his ass.
So you sucking yourself up.
Yeah.
For some- yeah, ooh.
And then he fell. The straight kick to the chest, bro.
Yes.
It wasn't quite This Is Sparta-ish, but it was dope, bro. Like, he kicked the shit out of him, man.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
And
did.
then he gave one for the roll. Oh!
Take this with you. Take this with you.
These people gotta stop doing this kind of stuff, man. First of all,
No, keep it up so we got stuff to laugh at.
Well, yeah, that too. But y'all stop going out in public, man, and doing this kind of stuff. This is ridiculous, man.
Right.
What made him think that was the right move? You tore your shirt. First of all, I don't know what kind of shirt that was. Maybe it was a regular Hanes t-shirt. I don't know. But you tore your shirt up to get your ass whooped.
That was the alcohol speaking.
See, and that's where it's
That
homeboy
was
shit.
right.
See, that's why it could have been me, because as your homeboy, and he tied it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, he got drove on him.
See, them probably some tribal tattoos. He probably thought when he took off his shirt, he was gonna connect with the ancestors.
Yeah.
But the ancestors wasn't home.
Well, you know what though? Old boy was trying to send him to go see the
And then
ancestors.
look, but it's the thing though. He got up, but he wasn't ready.
Oh man, he wasn't ready. He was,
bro. And he gave him one for the road.
yes. This is great.
Should have been bobbing and weaving, man.
He didn't have
No
enough
hand
weed.
movement at all.
Yeah, he did. You see his head go back? He had
That's the wrong way.
plenty of head movement.
Dang.
That is great, man. That is great. He was great.
What was the argument though? And then look,
Yeah.
all that should have happened next was the pants should have been torn. Oh, he tried to choke. Oh yeah, you deserve that.
Yeah. I didn't see that in the beginning.
Yeah, that fake choke. Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, you don't choke anybody like that. That's not a proper choke.
No, you watching too much wrestling.
Right. He was out here, bro.
Yeah, he was done.
And then look, the shuffle. Oh, bro, that was a perfect side shuffle. Like
Yes.
you know what though? Dude in the White waiting on this shit.
Yeah.
Dude in the White was practicing this. He came to the casino that night wishing somebody would. I wouldn't be surprised if he set that up. I wouldn't be surprised if he got Buddy drunk and was taunting him to do that. Because the way he set that kick up, he hadn't been practicing that shit, man.
Because you know most drinks are free at the casino. As long as you gamble.
Right.
Give Buddy another drink. Give him another
Another
drink.
round.
Yeah, give him another round on me.
Because he finna get, that ass whooped. Yeah.
Woo-wee. That's some medication for you.
I mean, was it a? I mean, what could he have said to make me do that first?
I don't know.
And then what was that, bro? Put the beats on his ass.
Oh man.
And then hold on, after security grabbed him, and he measured. Oh, he measured him right now. Look, if he look. Boom! Man, that's it. That could have been me, bro. Where
Hey,
the homeboys at?
Gambling can cost you your life. Gambling. But I'd have had to wait for you outside.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, when you get a whooping like that, though, you just go home. It's just.
Well, he probably didn't remember what happened because he's
Yeah.
already out. So.
The next day, he's like, did my wife hit me? Speaking of my wife, shout out to you, baby.
See? See?
What?
I wasn't gonna say nothing until you wait to the end of the. Well, at least thank you waiting to the end of the show because we had to wrap up
Well,
now,
you
so I
know.
appreciate it.
You know, I can't wrap it up without saying shout out to my wife. I love her. That's my belle, which is beautiful in French. And she is beautiful in any language.
Go ahead, keep going. This is
What?
your time. Go
It's
ahead.
the truth.
I
It's the truth. I ain't got to be ashamed of it. Because of her, and my daughter is beautiful.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
you know,
That's a fact. She's drop dead gorgeous.
because if I had made it with an ugly person, daughter wouldn't have come out looking like that.
What did you just say? If you would have what with another
If I
person?
had made it with an ugly person.
Mated.
Yes.
What is this, National Geographic?
Hey,
Nat Geo?
sometimes it gets animalistic.
You do okay. That is too much. Now you have to do that. Like, the noises and all that shit, bro. We didn't need that.
I ain't say no noises. I said sometimes it gets animalistic.
We don't need to hear.
But not with her because she's always a lady. Anyways, shout out to my
Ain't how
boy.
she got you.
What? Really? Now we get quiet. Okay.
saying.
Shout out to my boy
But the
Jay.
lady you fell in love with.
It was, yes, I was. If she was.
Oh, lady in the
yes.
streets.
A lady in the sheets. She's a lady.
Oh,
Right.
behold.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to
Shout out to
it.
Andre 3000, man. 3 stacks.
Yes.
Behold a lady. Go ahead.
And I gotta give a shout out to my boy James. Look like Shrek Lawson. Today's his birthday. He turned 45.
That's
hey,
messed up.
in 5 more years, you'll hit your waistline. So, my boy gotta give a shout out to him for his birthday. Hey, I'm just glad, he's still around.
That's your only shout out.
Keep hanging in there,
What
boy.
did you just call Shrek
Straight
for the
up.
whole world to hear?
Listen, even his son said, darn, Daddy, you do look like Shrek. Look like Shrekzilla, like the black Shrekzilla.
He went to bed hungry that night.
He probably
I get
did.
the last laugh.
He
Yeah.
probably did, because he feels the same way you do.
Yeah, I'm kind of that parent.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
kinda.
All right.
No, you that parent.
I got something for you.
Yeah.
You got jokes? You want a jokey joke? You hungry? Yeah. Well, all right then.
But that's how he is with his son.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, his daughter can step on his neck.
Yeah.
Baby, go get what you want out the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't say much because I'm the same way with my
I
daughter.
mean, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. Now James though is not as easy on his daughter. He's hard on his daughter too.
Well, man, we hope y'all enjoyed the show, man. I got a few shout outs, but listen,
Go ahead.
we're going to do this thing twice a week.
Yes.
Dos.
Dos.
Días
De.
por la semana. 2 times for the week.
Wow.
That might be wrong. My Spanish people don't crucify me over that. I'm trying. I'm
That's-
getting more. I'm learning. I'm getting more.
That's
culture.
how you're able to pull these Latinas. That's amazing.
Easy.
amazing, bro. Okay.
Easy.
Wow.
Just a smile. Okay, that's all it is.
The vertical one?
Yeah. So shout outs. So listen, I'm gonna do a shout out to Tiara Brown, Fort Myers, from Your People Neck of the Woods.
Stand up. Wait a minute.
Unfortunately, she lost somebody due to Corona. So heart and shouts out to Tiara Brown.
Prayers are with you, too.
You know, she follows us on the gram, so she's a friend of the show. We
She's
gotta
in
give
Houston
her-
training, though, right?
I don't know, but she live in DC. That's where she works as
Yeah,
a first
DC.
responder too, as a police officer. So
Yeah.
definitely shout out to her. But I want to give a big shout out to all the female boxers that did the female wardrobe challenge on Instagram.
Yes.
So shouts out to the ladies, Clarissa Shields, Latondra Jones, Franshawn Cruz DeZern, Michaela Mayer, Heather the Heat Hardy, Mary McGee, Saloom Urbina, Sharon Kim, and Kelly Reese. Hope I messed your name up, man. But listen, all the ladies were beautiful. Y'all were dope. That was a hell of a challenge. I'm glad the men didn't do it because we ain't want to see them no way. Good job. Man, I might need to find me a boxer chick, bro. What you think?
Or you can find Jasmine, the former assistant coach at UConn.
Ooh, Jasmine. I still remember her name. Yes. Y'all tag Jasmine List in this so she can see us.
Yes.
She had that wagon. Hey! Woo! And that's it. Until the next time, we got nothing. We appreciate y'all. Find the show. We out here.
Right.